What is going on, everyone? How are we doing today? Let's go ahead and get the stream started. Sorry I'm a little late today. Been a little busy getting things rolling. I think you understand how I feel, right? Okay, let me just make sure that the stream is pulled up, and it is, in fact, streaming. It looks like it is. We can mute that. Okay, we can jump right into it. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can build a professional landscaping website with Claude. But the reason why this video is important compared to what most people are showing you is that AI, specifically Claude in this case, it's relevant information, not always accurate information. And I will show you an example of that and why it's important. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jacob Chappell. I am a former licensed pest control contractor and a former C-17 jet engine mechanic, and now I teach online systems so you can get your Saturdays back and have some more cash in your pockets while you're doing it. Okay, so let's just get into it. Let me jump. Okay, so if you watched yesterday's live stream, I showed you how to spot fake Google business profiles or fake businesses. These businesses like this one on, oh, wait, hold on a second. I didn't change my screen. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're back in business. Okay, awesome. Anyways, in yesterday's stream, I showed you how to spot fake businesses. These fake businesses, such as this one right here, basically what they do is they put up a real looking website and they capture leads, and then when the person calls, like a customer, they sell that lead to another business in the area. And I'm not sure if they're always licensed and insured. I would doubt it in most cases. It's pretty scammy and pretty scummy, but I'll show you the example and why this is relevant. Okay, so we have this is a fake business here, and we busted them yesterday because I called them and it's a completely different company. But if you go to the About page, you'll see there is this guy named Aaron G. Martinez, okay? This guy is not real. I've already pulled up an AI detector. It's 97% fake. And even if he was a real person using like an AI generation and stuff like that, I tried to find this guy. There's nothing on him. He's completely fake. Again, this is a lead generation website. But why this is important. Okay, so if you take this section here and you just copy it, right, and you put this into Google, or you say like Aaron G. Martinez, founder, new build landscaping in Scottsdale, Arizona, it will pull up an AI response and it will sound very convincing and very real, okay? And I want you to understand that Google has a certain amount of credibility associated with the name itself. And so when you're on Google and you see something like this, it's more credible just because it's on Google, if that makes sense. And so if you look right here, it says Aaron G. Martinez is the founder of New Building Landscaping in Scottsdale, Arizona, a certified landscaping professional and longtime local resident. Okay, it sounds pretty convincing. If we scroll down a little bit, we see, and ignore this right here, this is a plugin I have. This is New Build Landscaping, 4.9 stars. Okay, so everything here seems very convincing, but AI is pulling from this source here. So the AI information is not actually accurate. It's just relevant, meaning that you search for, in this case, I searched for this guy's name, and this was relevantly on his website. Okay, why is that important? So if I go to Claude, and I'm like, hey, Claude, I want you to build me a professional landscaping website. It's not going to pull up always accurate information. It's going to pull up relevant information, okay? And that's why most of the times when you use AI, it's kind of disappointing because it will just be generic, cookie cutter kind of garbage results, and it sucks. So it takes a long time of like messing with it to get what you want. So anyways, in the description, I've put a prompt that you can give to Claude, and I've already built a demo website as like a base layer to help you and give you like an example to work with. So let me see if I can just go to my YouTube video real quick, and I will copy this prompt. And I guess we could just use anybody's real quick. Let's see. I'm just going to copy this. Okay. There we go. Awesome. Okay, I've copied this, and now I'm just going to paste this into Claude, and then we're going to fill in some of the missing information. So right here it says my website, which would be your URL. I can just pull up a landscaping company, in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is where I'm at. And again, I have no association with these. I'm just going to pull them up at random so we can just test this out. because I don't have a landscaping company, so I can't use mine as an example if I did have one. Okay, so we can just use this one here. Again, this is only for educational purposes. Here we go. And then we can just copy this here. And then we can go back to our prompt, and then we can fill in this section here. I think my, okay, never mind. It just hyperlinks it. Okay, we can just fill that in right there. So basically, it's referencing back to my website because I have this demo on my website, j1systems.pro/landscaping-demo. And so it's referencing that, and then you can fill in your business information, and then we're just going to send that off. I need to go into ghost mode because if I don't, Claude will pull from my own information and kind of muddy it up a little bit. So we'll do this, and we'll see what it says. Hopefully I'm not getting too close to my mic. I have a loud voice. Okay, and then we'll see what that does. And while that is baking in, I'll come back and show you what it says. And usually Claude will ask you a lot of questions. And by the way, Claude does have a free account that you can use, and there are usage limits, but it's pretty generous. So go mess with that a little bit. Okay, so here is what a professional landscaping website should look like. So right off the bat, let's just load it in fresh. Right off the bat, this top section, ignore it. This is for me saying like, hey, this is an educational demo and that this is a fictitious fake business that's just used for educational reasons. So we're going to start about like right here. Right off the bat, the first thing I would have in this little section here is like in 3 seconds, the person should be able to say, what do you do? Where are you? And then like, what are the results? What's the outcome of hiring you, right? So right now we land on here and it says landscape design and installation. Okay, awesome. So I know that this company here, which would be your company, does XYZ. In this case, it's landscape design and installation. Okay, but where are they? They're in Scottsdale. Okay, I might put like Arizona, Scottsdale, AZ. Scottsdale's a pretty popular place, so most people would know in the area, but I think I would still put Arizona. And then the outcome, a backyard you truly love. A lot of people's backyards, including me myself, you don't really enjoy it that much because it's very expensive and it's very costly to do it, and it's very challenging to do it yourself. So a lot of people, you know, this is a big pain point, a backyard that you truly love, because most people don't love their backyards. Okay, and I would have a little bit of a spill right here. Okay, something along these lines here. I don't want to dive too deep into these little details. That's not super important, okay? We're softly just steering them to these 2 CTAs, okay? And by the way, this website, this demo, has teaching pins, so you can highlight each section and see little notes of why it's important throughout the website. And there's also site anatomy. And so this is called above the fold. It came from newspapers. So whenever you'd pull out a newspaper, what you see is above the fold. And then what you would see to, like, once you unfolded it, that'd be below the fold. Okay, that's where it comes from. So this is like the first thing that you see. Okay, so above the fold. And then we can, I'm going to turn these off. You can mess around with this yourself. It's very handy. But let's just go through. We'll keep these little bitty sections on here. Okay, so we have the first 3 seconds. We know what they do, where they are, and then what's your outcome of hiring you, right? And then we're going to softly steer them right into a hard CTA and a soft CTA. What's a hard CTA and what's a soft CTA? Well, a hard CTA is like a phone number. If you have to pick up the phone, if somebody has to pick up the phone and call you, it's a hard CTA. It's direct. I have to get on the phone with you. It's very engaging. It's a hard CTA. Okay, a soft CTA is like, hey, book a free design today, right? It's pretty soft. It's like, I'm interested, but I don't really want to jump on the phone right now. Maybe I'm busy, whatever. It's a soft CTA. They can drop in something and then go along with it. This is also a very easy, like really, really soft CTA is a quote form. The reason I say it's really, really soft is because it's like super instructional. Put your name, put your phone number, and then what do you need? How can we help you? Anything like that. Request my design, visit today. Anything you want to say. Next thing is like a really big thing that helps. A really big thing that helps is when you're scrolling down, I would have a sticky header, meaning that when you scroll down, the header stays up here, and you can always see the phone number and get a free quote today. Again, we have a hard CTA and a soft CTA. And notice that the colors or the button design are a little bit different, right? Because you want these to stand out. They should look a little bit different. Okay, and then also too, like right above the fold as we land, we have that we're 4.9 star Google reviewed. Google itself has trust with that name, and then you have 4.9 stars or whatever your reviews are. Put that above the fold because instantly it creates trust. It's like, okay, this person does a pretty good job. 4.9 stars is actually really good. Okay, and then we have another trust marker, which is like you've been around for a while and you have experience. I've been around since 2011, right? Serving the Valley. That's a good trust marker. And then like, what's the time frame? 3 to 5 days is what it takes to build most yards. Like, what's just a general time frame, like a ballpark, right? Okay, and then we'll go down just a little bit. I try not to talk too loud. My voice can be a little over cumbersome and blow out the microphone, so I have to kind of back up a little bit. Right here we have a trust bar. Again, we're having the reviews. I would put the Google logo itself with your reviews if in fact it is from Google, because Google itself has trust with it. It's really important to put in Arizona it's called ROC. It's really important to put your license and insured number so that people can pull you up. Like I said, these fake websites, so this is a fake one here. This is a fake company that does lead generation. They don't have a license number on their website. And again, their whole job is just to take a lead and then sell it to another person locally, and then they make money off of it. It's pretty scummy and misleading, but that's the case. Okay, and then right here, this is like where you generate the stakes, because right now we've already said like what we do, where we are, and then what's the outcome. But then we want to put like a little gentle nudge, like a little gentle push, okay? And so basically you're going to dig into a little bit of pain. Is just say like, you have an ugly yard. I wouldn't say that, but you're implying it. An ugly yard doesn't fix itself, okay? And then just give some gentle facts, like up to 7% of the value. And it's pretty intuitive. It needs to be believable. If nobody knows anything about landscape and you're like, hey, most of the curb appeal of your house, or most of the appeal of your house is the curb appeal, meaning like the grass and the landscape and stuff with it. If a really nice house has like bad grass and bad landscaping, it's going to decrease the value naturally, right? It's pretty intuitive and pretty believable. Talk about what it's going to cost them if they don't fix it today. So like if they have like pavers, like if they have like a tree that's going to root into their home, or like bad pavers that are going to crack, or they're like the concrete separating, or whatever the case may be, generate the stakes for that as well. And so yeah, we're going to scroll down just a little bit more. I'm going to slow down just a little bit. Sometimes I talk like super, super fast. And then we're going to list our services. I think this is where like you don't want to get caught up too much in trying to like tell people your services right off the bat. People really don't care too much about what all your services are. They just have a problem, and so they come looking for a solution. And you want to have that available on your website for mostly SEO and AEO. So if they search like, landscape design and install, well, you might populate for search engine optimization reasons. But you don't want to just like land, you don't want to have your client or your customer land on a website and then you just start listing services, right? Because they're just like, it's decision fatigue, okay? And decision fatigue is like, I don't know. I have to make a ton of choices. So we want to kind of lower down on that a little bit. And then let's create like some more authority, but empathy as well, to where it's like, I understand what you're going through and I feel your pain. So I would say something along the lines of like, expert designers, 15 years in Arizona's harsh climate, so your yard is done right. Basically saying like, we've been where you are. We know what it's like. We live here. We go through it with you, and we're experts in doing that. Okay, so we've created empathy and relatability, and then we've also created more authority. Like, we are experts in whatever we do. And again, this information would be whatever your information is. Okay, this is a really, really important part, because if we do a lot of if we do things really well all the way down through our website, and then we don't just have a gentle path of like, this is step A, step B, step C, right? Take them from point A to C, then they'll likely bounce, because there's a thing that's called buyer's decision. It's not buyer's decision, I'm sorry, buyer's fatigue. And buyer's fatigue is like, I don't know exactly what I want, what I need, like exactly. That's why they're coming to an expert to do it for them. And so you don't want them to have to think too much about like everything, right? Like, there needs to be a simple guideline of like where you need to go. So on the left hand, we have a plant that's like withering away. Visually, we're showing them this is like where you're at right now. Your landscape is not that great. And then on the right, this is the outcome. Beautiful green plant with sun shining, okay? Pretty intuitive. So step 1 is book a free design today, okay? Just jump on a quick call with us real quick, and there's no obligation. We'll talk to you about what we can do to help your yard. And then you approve your design and the price. Basically, we'll give you a price, or I'm sorry, we'll give you a design. We'll see if you like it. We'll see what we can do to make your yard better. And then you watch it get built. And then within 3 to 5 days, you will have a brand new yard that you truly love, okay? Step 1, step 2, step 3, A to B, A to C, A to Z, whatever you want to call it. But basically just gently guide them where they're going to go. Okay, I'm going to take another sip of water. I am in Arizona, and it's freaking super dry out here. Okay, and the next section we have is what we call social proof. Okay, and again, these little sections up here, they wouldn't be shown on your website. These are for educational reasons. It's social proof. So we're basically saying, like, this is what your neighbors are saying. This is what the community is saying, right? We are naturally a community creatures. We like to fit in with a crowd. And so if other people are saying good things about us, other people are saying good things about a service, it's more likely that your customer is going to go with you based off of that, okay? And that's common sense. I think we all pretty well know that. But you can say, like, what our local community says, what your neighbor says, what your community says, anything like that, and then just put the quotes, right? This is the proof that we do a good job, okay? Or that you would do a good job. I keep mixing up me and you. I will just keep saying you because I'm not a landscaper and I'm helping you out here. And we'll keep it simple. Okay, next section is it's called FAQ, frequently asked questions page. This is mostly for SEO and AEO. And when I say SEO, I mean search engine optimization, meaning that somebody comes to Google and they search in, how much does landscaping cost in Scottsdale? Well, if you have this on your site, then it's more likely that you're going to pop up because it's search engine, okay? And then the new one is answer engine, it's pretty cool that Google has kind of incorporated AI into the search. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not cool. But if they search, how much does landscaping cost in Arizona, there is a good chance that you'll pop up. And again, I gave that example earlier by even just like, this is a completely fake website that's fraudulent. And they still pop up and they still rank on Google, which is nuts. But that's just how it works. Okay, so it's important to know. That's an important thing I think to know and to accept, is that just because it's right or wrong doesn't change the fact of whether it happens or doesn't happen. Okay, it took me a long time to get through that, but this is just reality. If you want to rank on Google, there's certain things that are important to know. Okay. All right, so we have a frequently asked questions page, and then you have a final CTA. This is like the last thing we're saying. It's like, hey, before you go or before we go, you should call us, right? Stop avoiding your backyard, right? I can't highlight this. It's not highlighting properly. Okay, there we go. Stop avoiding your backyard. Start living in it. And then you can call us today or call you today and get a free design. And then you can also have, this is a lead magnet or a lead generator, to where you're basically saying, like, hey, for free, if you drop your email in here, we will give you a free, kit on how to plant certain plants, how to take care of your plants in Arizona, XYZ, you name it. Essentially what you're doing is you're trying to get them into your email news list, okay, or an email so you can contact them and keep following up. Following up being the key word. I've made that huge mistake, like in the past, is where you would reach out to somebody and they would not respond or deny or whatever, and you think, okay, well, they're just not interested. It's important to keep following up, and not to be annoying. There's a tactful way to do it, but it's important to keep following up. Call people, email people, text people, say, hey, because if somebody drops their email right here, they are interested, just maybe not right now. Maybe there's something that's holding them back from saying yes to move forward with you. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, so then we have like the names of the cities that we serve. So if you serve like whatever cities you serve, like for this example, we have Scottsdale, we have Phoenix, we have Paradise Valley, Tempe, Mesa. This is all, if you're not from Phoenix, this is like all the metro area. And then right here, this is irrelevant. This is not a part of the website that you would build. This is about this demo. Basically just saying, hey, this is a demo. It's not real. Just helping you guys out. Okay. So that's from top to bottom. Let's go see what Claude has. Okay, so Claude has made us an HTML that is actually fairly similar. I mean, this is actually pretty impressive. Wow, like first try too. Yeah, holy cow, man. It's actually nuts what AI is capable of doing now, right? Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to go through this. I don't think I need to go through this like step by step. But essentially it did that, like paver and hardscape installation in Phoenix, a backyard you actually want to walk out into. Okay, cool. Hard CTA, soft CTA. We got a sticky header with the soft CTA, hard CTA. We've got a quote form here. We got our reviews. We got our license number. We've got when, how long we've been serving. We do free quotes, or you do free quotes in this example. A dirt yard doesn't fix itself. We have the stakes, so we're putting a little bit of pressure on them. Like, hey, it's important to take action now. It creates some urgency, a little bit, not pushy, but just a little bit of a, hey, like think about when you're the mechanic, and let's say your tires are bad, and your mechanic's like, hey, these tires are pretty low, so I just wanted to let you know that they could fail on you while you were driving because they're really low, okay? And you have to make that decision, like, okay, how low are they really? And how dangerous is this? But it does create some urgency in you to think, like, should I buy tires? Is it safe to drive on these tires? Maybe I do need tires, right? And so you want to create that a little bit, because if you went to the mechanic and they checked your tires out and they just didn't say anything about it, there would be no urgency to get new tires unless one blew out on you, right? So you got to create a little bit of urgency, okay? So this is what we're doing here, a little bit of urgency. All right, and then we're listing the services. Again, not super important, because if they have a problem, they'll come to you anyways. Creating some empathy with some more authority, like, hey, we've been in your shoes. We know what it's like. We've been doing this for 10, 15 years, whatever it is, and we get it, okay? We've been there too. And then you have simple steps of like, hey, this is the process that you take to go from where you're at right now to the outcome that you want. Call us. We'll come look at your yard, and then we'll install it. Again, this is all Claude generated this right now, so it's going to need a little bit of refinement, but it's not too bad for a first draft, like right off the bat. It's still in the browser. And then you have your social proof. This is where you list, like you say, like, this is what the Valley homeowners say, what your community says, what your neighbors say, don't take it from us, take it from your neighbor, whatever. Basically just showing like what your neighbors, the community is saying, like they have had a positive response. That's the social proof, okay? And then you have your FAQ, which is your frequently asked questions. This is mostly for the SEO and AEO reasons. Hopefully I'm still streaming. Sometimes I'm worried that my stream stops. It stopped last week, but we're not. We're good to go. Okay, and then right here you have a final CTA, which is stop looking at that yard and start using it, which is super funny, right? And you can be humorous. Just follow your gut on this a little bit. Humor can be a little dangerous or a little risky, but sometimes risk pay off. So just, follow your gut on that a little bit and see what you can get away with. And then have a lead magnet saying like, hey, we have a free guide. What Phoenix Pavers job should actually cost, like what they should actually cost. And that might be a little risky. Instead of saying that right here, I might say something like, and I'll go ahead and just say this with Claude while we're live streaming. I'll say, for the lead magnet, for the free guide of what Phoenix Pavers job should actually cost, I wouldn't say that. I would rather say something along the lines of how to make your pavers last longer, how to get 5 more years out of your pavers, how to make your pavers look better longer, how to keep your pavers looking great, or something along those lines, some kind of lead magnet along those lines. And then fill in the subheading below it, please. And essentially what I'm doing here is, because if you go to the tire shop, there is one risk of like, if I go to the tire shop and they say your tires are bad, well, maybe you're just trying to sell me. So there's some skepticism. We don't want to create too much skepticism here. Again, this is a soft lead magnet. We just want them to drop their email so we have their contact information. If they do drop their email, that means they are interested in something to do with their pavers. Maybe they're not ready to buy right now, but maybe later on they'll be ready to buy. And this is where you would put them into a warm nurture or a lead nurture, to where you're basically just going to nurture them over time. So when they are ready to buy, they buy from you. Okay, we'll see what it says. And then we have serving the Phoenix Valley, which has all of the surrounding cities. And this will be, in your case, this will be the cities where you're at as well. And then we have a footing here as well. Okay. let's see, swapped in. Live copy now reads free guide how to get 5 more years out of your pavers. Okay, cool. I think next stream I might do it to where I actually have a feature to where I can zoom in a little bit, and I have a I keep forgetting to turn it on. I have a cursor highlighter, which makes it a little bit easier to say. I have heard from some people that the screen is a little bit too small sometimes. Okay. So now we have this. Let's see if we can refresh this. We'll download it, and then we'll just open it up here in the browser. There, that's perfect. Okay, awesome. Okay, and again, we didn't fill this out with all of the information. We kind of sped through it a little bit just for an example. But here we go. All right, so here's our lead menu. Free guide, how to get 5 more years out of your pavers. The joint sand problem behind almost every sinking paver, whether sealing is actually worth it in the Arizona sun, and the irrigation leak that moves your stones months before you ever see water. See, it's you're planting a seed of, maybe I do need work on my pavers. Maybe there is something I should do with my pavers, right? And it's free. I mean, it's a free guide. It's right here. So yeah, I'll just pop in my email real quick. Boom. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Again, this website, let's go to this one. This website is going to be on my website, j1systems.pro/landscaping-demo. You can go to this website. Again, there are teaching pins where you can look at each section and why it's important. And then you also have the site anatomy, which is the different sections above the fold. You have a truss bar, the stakes, and you can rearrange these things a little bit and do some flavoring of what you want. Take away what you think is good for you with this, and I hope it helps. I truly hope it helps, and that it helps you improve your website as you go forward. Okay, I'm going to head out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, everyone have a good one now. Okay.